Hello everyone and welcome back to my annual vlog. I have decided today is the day of 2023. I'm gonna film a vlog. Yes, you heard it right. Today is the day for a vlog. Now, I know I've made multiple promises in the past that I'm gonna make more content. I'm gonna be filming lots more videos, blah, blah, blah. You've heard it all. So I'm not even gonna go through that. We're just gonna take it as it comes. If I make another vlog, I make another vlog. If I don't, I don't. But yeah, so today we are going to be giving Nova a little bit of a spruce up. She needs a mane pulled and a brush and, you know, all that jazz. We're not going to show her anything, but she just looks like she's from the RSPCA. So, a bit of a tidy up, and then we're going to struggle setting up some poles, do a bit of pole work, see how that goes, and I'll give you guys a bit of a voiceover while I'm riding and how I'm riding the pole work exercise and how I'm feeling during the whole shebang. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So first things first, I'm gonna get out all the bits and bobs that I need for Nova. I'm gonna get the brushes, pull-in, comb, tack, all that stuff, just to get it all set up first. And then I'm gonna go up, set up the poles, and then get Nova in. So let's get straight into it. So I'll start off with all the bits and bobs. See, the problem is at the minute, all my bits and bobs are scattered everywhere. So we're going to take a few minutes to find out where they are. Now, I don't think you can see me on this camera, so I'm going to come back over and turn it because pointless watching nothing. So, this is my beautiful shed. So, let's get straight in. Oh, would you look at that? It's right in front of me. It's my lucky day today. So, I've been using this it's not a solo rake, I don't know, I think I got it from Smart Grooming. It's like a tail rake. It's got like a blade in the middle of it. It's like it can thin out the tail, but I've been using it on the mane too because it kind of does the same thing. See, Nova doesn't like her mane being pulled. Like, she will put up the utmost fight, like the biggest tantrum you'll ever see, just to have her mane pulled. So I don't even bother. I just get a rake and do my thing because it just saves us both a lot of hassle. So yes, Smart Grooming rake. Scissors would probably be a good thing too, but I have no idea where my scissors are. So, oh god, what is that? It's a fly. Okay, not a wasp. I also have a deadly fear of wasps. Scissors. Scissors. Toothpick. That's a good thing. Need that. But scissors, where are the scissors? Somewhere where they shouldn't be, of course. Now, I don't know if these are the sharp ones or not, so we have a toothpick and scissors. We're going up in the world. So we're gonna leave that there for now. I've got the kind of essentials for mane and boots. Yes, you just saw me throw white boots on the floor. Don't cry, please. Bridle. This is probably the most unhinged vlog I've ever filmed in the history of my very few vlogs. What colour saddle pads should we wear today? Should we wear pink or should we wear something else? I've been wearing pink for a while, so I feel like we should switch it up to something nice. I'll get this out for now anyway. Ooh. Try not to break my leg coming out of the shed. That would be a good thing. All the bits and bobs that I need. The camera is here, Carly, not over there. So yeah, that's all my bits and bobs. Got the rake, brushes, whatever. I'll probably go and set up the poles now, and then yeah, get over it. She's probably gonna hate me for bringing her in from the field. So yeah, I just realised that you guys have not been. Well, I haven't been uploading much on my YouTube for all. So anyone that's subscribed to my YouTube, we have 2 new additions. This over here is Nutmeg. Don't focus on my finger. And this is Flash. They are 2 new minis that we bought. So Nutmeg is a miniature Shetland and Flash is a Falabella. And they're only a year old. And we bought them when they were 6 months old. I think Nutmeg might be going for a roll now. That'd be actually really, really cute if you do. Nutmeg, go roll, please. Do something nice and cute. Usually they are running around like lunatics or fighting with each other. And as soon as I get the camera right, they just stop everything. They just act like the most innocent, docile, placid little ponies, which they are not. So yeah, maybe they'll do something for us. We'll stay here for a second. Nope, they're not going to do anything. But yeah, anyway, meet Nutmeg and Flash. They are new additions to the family. And we also have one more addition, which I will show you guys once I get Nova in, because he isn't in this field. So yeah, now we're in the arena. I'm going to go grab some poles and set up the pole work exercise. I'm actually going to use, I have an app called Equine that gives you lots and lots of pole work ideas, and gives you lots of different options for if you don't have many poles. It's like, I'm pretty sure they have like options where you just have like 2 poles and different exercises that you can do with just 2 poles, which is great because I don't actually have like a lot of poles. I think I only have like 8 or something. I mean, I know that's more than 2, but it's still not as much as other people might have. So I will show you guys the app. So this is the app. You can't see it. You know what? I'll take a screen recording of it because it's probably a lot easier. But yeah, so Equipole, basically this is the app. I think I paid for this. I think it was only like €3 or something. So it's not too expensive. So it tells you how many feet that goes in between each pole for horse or pony, which is great because I'm always forgetting that. There's beginner layout, so let's have a look here. So for instance, yes, there's 2 poles here, instead of tram lines, and simple exercises, there's picker up aids, there's loads of different exercises that you can do, see, look, with just 2 poles. So for the likes of maybe the smaller yacht, like if you have your horses at home and you haven't got much space and you don't have many poles, this is a great app. Let's have a look at this one. Obviously this one here needs 12 poles. I don't have 12 poles, so we can have a look at some different ones here. But yeah, basically this is the app I use. I do enjoy it just to come up with different ideas for pole work and stuff, because I do like keeping Nova very active, and I just think pole work is such a great strengthening tool for all aspects of the training scale.
Much later.
So here we have it. We have a pole work set up here. So I decided to do tram lines on a diagonal, and I'm trying to turn this around here so I can show you guys. So I had like an extra pole left over right over here that I decided to kind of put on the turn just to help her a little bit getting around the turn and getting accurate. So I'll actually zoom in and show you guys. So right there. So we kind of putting that away. So just to give her a little guidance. And I put the 4.5. It's very close to my face. Wow. So I put the poles 4 feet apart actually, sorry. And basically this is just to get shortened up her trot. Now I usually do 4.5 feet, and that is her natural stride length. But she finds lengthening quite easy, so I decided to make today's exercise a little bit more difficult because she's more than capable of lengthening. So we'll practice shortening today. So not only am I practicing straightness today, but we're also practicing a bit of shortening the stride across the trot poles. So that's basically it. I'll talk you guys through it a bit more once I'm on, and I'll explain how she's feeling, what I'm doing to correct certain issues, etc, etc. Now, I am no coach. I am no trained professional, but I will just give you a guide through what I do with Nova and just how she goes, and like, don't take my word for it, it might be wrong, but it's just what I'm doing, and if it works, it works, if it doesn't, it doesn't. So basically that's it. So I'm going to go and get Nova in now from the field, and hopefully she's in a good mood because she's probably going to be pretty annoyed at me for bringing her in from the field early. So yeah, and then I'm going to tack up and we'll get straight into the exercise. I shall see you guys in a few. So as you saw there, my dad very kindly brought in Nova for me. and here she is. Also, just had a moment of having to calm it down because Pearl was left in the field and she just decided to freak out because she just can't be away from Pearl. So I just had to go and bring Pearl in so she stays happy and quiet. The joys of horses, right? Yeah. So anyway, we'll get right into this. We'll start pulling her mane and just tidying her up a bit and giving her a brush down, and we'll get tacked up and get going. So here we have Nova's lovely pulled mane, whoopsie daisy. Just using the Smart Grooming rake and a pair of scissors. It's obviously not professional, but it does the job, and it just keeps Nova quiet and comfortable to have a tidy mane because she just doesn't like any sort of pulling utensil, and that is the best thing I have gotten since. That just has us standing there quietly and happy while I do her mane. Hey, that's feel better. I bet that's a lot of weight off you. But yeah, Nova is a very sensitive little wee horse, and she doesn't like I tried a solo rake. I can kind of get through it with a solo rake, but I can't get as much off as I would like to get off, because she does actually have quite a thick mane, surprisingly, being a thoroughbred. But yeah, no, I do really like using the smart grooming rake. I think that's, if you've got a sensitive horse like Nova, then I do highly recommend getting one. So yeah, I'm gonna give the rest of her a brush now and groom her tail, etc, all that jazz. Hey, you look into the camera. So I'm just going to hose off Nova's legs because they are extremely muddy and it is just far too much effort. Oh, stop being a mess. And it's just far too much effort to brush off. So I'm going to hose them off, and she also has like a tiny little graze around her fetlock that I'm just need to put a bit of cream on. So I'm going to hose off her legs and just make my life so much easier. And Nova, you really need to stop winding Pearl up. Nova's favourite pastime is winding Pearl up. So Nova's all tacked up now, as you can see. I will zoom in a little bit if I can. There we go. So Nova's all tacked up, and I'm just going to let her stand underneath some hay for a bit while I get my other camera set up with my Pivo, so I can record the ride and all that. So yeah, I want to get myself mounted, and I shall see you guys in the arena. So just starting off at a nice forward walk. I just wanted to get her walking forwards and confidently to get her warmed up, as she finds the end of the arena here very, very scary, because last week a cat decided to come running out of the bushes and scared the living crap out of her. So we are trying to just gain some confidence here, get a nice forward active walk and get her listening to my aids, getting her forward against the leg. Nova has a very bad habit of going behind my leg. As you can see here, she's kind of just getting rather tense. She's just by nature a very tense horse, so I always start off at least 5 to 10 minutes just in walk, doing circles, leg yielding, whatever I need to do. See here, I'm going on a circle because she is very tense still at that end of the arena, so I just do a nice quiet circle, something she knows, just a bit of inside bend. Just keep doing that until she's listening to me and she's confident. I always go back to basics, like inside bend. She knows inside bend well, so I just bring it back, and it just gives her a bit of confidence, because she knows well how to do inside bends. So I just again go around again, just asking for some inside bend. Inside bend is my go-to just to get her listening to me. It just brings her attention back to me, and it's just reminds her that my aids are there with the hand and the leg. So here I'm going to start warming up in the trot and just doing lots of walk to trot transitions and trot to walk. I just really wanted to get it in front of my leg and listen to my aids and just to relax. The key purpose of our warm-ups in every session with Nova is just to get her relaxed, because as you can see here, the head's bobbing up and down, and now before the comments trainers, the internet trainers get at me in the comments, yes, she has had her back, her teeth checked, everything. This horse costs me multiple limbs and organs a year in vet bills, so trust me, she is completely healthy right now, and I am actually very happy to say that, because it's very rare that she is. So anyway, as you can see here, she always starts out quite tense and just kind of not really listening. She's just a typical thoroughbred mare, and very, very stubborn, and also very flighty. So I just did there just in a little circle, asking for inside bend. So she knows inside bend like the back of her hand. So I'm just asking her something that she knows, to bring her attention back to me and to stop fighting me. So here I'm changing the diagonal. The best thing to do with Nova as well to keep her attention is just constantly just to keep moving, changing diagonals, doing lots of circles, just to really get her attention on me, because once you start going round and round in laps and you're not really doing anything productive then other than going round in laps. Do you know what I mean? So I tend to keep it doing lots of school movements just to get her listening to my inside bends, outside leg, and just to get her to relax. So you can see here she's actually starting to relax a little bit more. Asking for another circle on the right rein. And the trot is getting a bit more regular. You'll notice at the very start her trot is very, very out of balance and out of time. It's not really, it kind of goes fast, slow, fast, you know what I mean? It's just, there's no rhythm. So I usually spend about 5 to 10 minutes. I usually spend 5 minutes at a walk just to get her relaxed and listening to my leg, and then I go into trot, and then once I'm into trot I start working on the rhythm. Once I don't bother about the head, I don't bother about anything else she's doing, I just want a rhythmical trot. And then once we've got a rhythmical trot and it's in balance, then I start asking for bend, and I start asking for her to put her head down, and then it all just kind of piece. It's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle, you know, piece after piece. So this is what the training scale is. So I basically work through the training scale just in my warm-up. So I work on rhythm, and then as you go up, like you work on suppleness later on down the line, and contact, etc., etc. So that's just what I do. I just find that it works best for Nova. So here I try going down the diagonal here for the first time. As you can see, it's very, very wobbly, which is completely fine, you know, because first time going down, that's normal. She wasn't expecting it either. So I'm just doing everything I can just to keep her attention. So here I bring her over the poles, just so she's thinking on her feet. She's got something to think about other than what's going on around her, because Nova is a scatterbrain. She will look at everything that's going on around her more so than her own feet. So I'm going over poles here, so she's thinking, she's having to look where she's putting her feet, and we're changing direction constantly, so she has to listen to my aids, otherwise it's not going to work well for her. So here I come down the diagonal again, going through the tram lines, and it's a lot straighter, a little less tense, much straighter. And here we have another scary moment. She's just convinced that a cat is going to come flying out that bush again. Like, she is just terrified all the time with that ND reader, which is fine, because at the same time she still is only 7 years old. I also apologise for any sniffing throughout this video. I have terrible allergies, and hay fever is knocking me off my ass right now in the spring, so I'm sorry for the sniffing, guys. I will try and cut as much of it out as possible. So we still have some tense moments here. As you can see, the head goes up, and like the whole body kind of comes up really. She kind of hollows it a little bit in the back. And the trot becomes quite rushed, and there's not much regularity to it. So I just keep riding forwards. I'm not paying attention to it, so she doesn't need to pay attention to it. I just keep riding the exercise, and we're coming back down to walk here to have a little bit of a breather, because, you know, myself included needs a break, because I am not that fit. So yeah, here we are, just again going to lots of walk, trot, walk transitions. It's the best thing you can do for do you know what, actually, a fizzy horse that's sensitive to the leg is the best thing you can possibly do, is ride it with more leg. Like, a lot of people, myself included, I would ride Nova with very little leg, because she would shoot forward at any, just even the slightest pressure, she would just shoot forwards, and that was because she was avoiding me putting the leg on. So if you ride her with more leg on, you get a nicer ride, because, you know, it's learning her to listen to my aids and not just run away from it. So best advice I can give you, and that is what a coach has told me: if you've got a fizzy forward horse that's sensitive to the leg, ride it with more leg. So here you can see we actually get a nice rhythmical trot going here. It's quite a nice there's nice movement to it. Her bum's starting to swing a little. Head's still up in the air, but that'll come with time. I'm not too pushed on it right now, because we've got a really nice trot going. And I just keep going through the exercise, changing the diagonal again. Now, one thing I'm actually really bad for, I have a terrible habit, is changing my own diagonal. I think it's just because I've been riding at home so often, and obviously not riding in a riding school, and when I get lessons and stuff, it's usually jumping, so I don't really focus too much. I'm usually in canter a lot, so it's all focused on the correct canter lead more so my diagonal, so I never change my diagonal. But that is one thing I will take up from this ride, is to focus more on changing my diagonal, because I do want to get into dressage, so I need to work on that. But as you can see here, her head's actually starting to lower down a little bit. She still fights against the contact. Now, I think part of this could be because I don't have the stillest hands. I try and be as still as possible, but I end up getting these kind of washing line reins, because I'm also a little bit like hesitant to hold a contact. I'm expecting her to fall into it, when I don't think that's the case. This is something that I need an instructor for. So I'm hoping to get some lessons soon to help this, because I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to a horse that's quite avoidant of contact. I also probably need a bit change as well. So that's probably also on the cards. But as you can see though, trot's becoming much better now. She's fighting me a bit here because I'm asking for inside bend on a tight turn. Because I'm trying to make this exercise a bit more difficult for her by adding a few extra tight turns and shortening up, etc, etc. So yeah, here I go into canter, and it's actually a lovely transition. I can't fault that at all. And I go down the diagonal just so you know, practice going canter down the diagonal. Now she isn't too. She can do flying changes, but I wasn't asking for any this day because she's still a bit rusty on it. So I just tried to keep it. She's already doing a hard enough exercise with the trot and poles. I didn't want to make it really, really hard for her. So I just come back to trot and change the canter lead in trot. And here you can see she gets a little bit strong with me. So I put her on a circle just to bring her back to me and sit her on her bum, which works. Surprisingly, because usually it doesn't. I usually have to do 2 or 3 circles before I have control. But yeah, we actually get a lovely canter this day. I am actually really, really happy with the canter that came from doing the trot poles and the exercise. I think it really just improved the aids in canter as well, and it just really made this rocking horse type canter, and she's really sitting on her hind end. Because one thing Nova tends to do, which is a habit of hers, is in the canter she'll fall onto the forehand and she'll kind of like try and tank a little, leaning on your hands, and the whole canter just becomes very downhill. But as you can see here, I'm actually really, really happy with how straight that line was. Now, I could have rode it further into the corner there. This is another habit of mine. I am terrible for cutting my corners. I don't know why, I just don't ride into my corners. I just need someone to shout at me, ride into your corners, because they're there for a reason. And also I think I put the poles a little bit too far away from the track, because I also kept cutting the end of the corner of M very, very short. But so look, I'm still very happy. Like, we've got a very, very regular trot here, and very, very relaxed, and she's listening to my aids more. She's less focused on what's going on down that end of the arena, which is great. I am actually really, really happy and pleased with this session today. I just think that this exercise was a great tool for her to improve her straightness. We had a lot less dishing out. Nova also has a really bad habit of going down this diagonal, and she dishes. She dishes either out or in, depending on what she's feeling that day, but she just can't stay straight. But here she's actually staying relatively straight, which I'm really, really pleased with, and she's keeping the regular trot as she goes down the diagonal, because I find that whenever I ask for straightness, we lose a nice regular trot, and vice versa. We either get a nice trot and a wish-washy line, or we get a nice line and a terrible trot. So I'm actually really, really impressed with this exercise. It has really improved our straightness, and the trot poles have really improved the cadence and the regularity of a trot. It's just, and she's able to shorten over the trot poles, which is great. And as you can see here, she's looking lovely. I'm really, really pleased with her in this session. Really, really pleased. There's a lot to take away, and a lot was learnt. So to finish up, I just let her on a nice long rein and get her working long and low, just to get her to stretch her neck out a bit, as it's a nice cool down. Stretches out all those neck muscles and down her back, and I also think it's just a great gauge of seeing whether the session had a good impact, because she'll finish up nice and relaxed, which is great. And I'm actually really pleased with this session today. I'm really happy with how she went, and I highly recommend this polework exercise for anyone working on straightness and rhythm. So just finished with Nova there and popped her back out to the field, and I will spin this round so you can see Pumpkin and Nova having fun in the field. There's Pearl, not white as always, and they've kind of gone off into the trees there. I'll just wait until they come back. They'll come back eventually. Go up! No. Nova's kind of having a nosy. She's so funny. Oh, spotted something. But anyway, my mic unfortunately died, so having to resort to the camera mic, and I'll have to do a voiceover. I wanted to kind of talk as I rode, if you know what I mean, and had it like that way, but never mind. Technology was not on my side today. I had a lot of technical difficulties, but sure, look. But yeah, so I thought she actually went really well today. I'm actually really pleased with how she did that exercise. She was, oh, here we go. Off they go. Pumpkin is the new addition also. Well, we've had him since, I think we've had him like a year or two maybe. But I don't think he was in my previous videos. So that's Pumpkin. He's a Shetland pony we adopted from the ISPCA as a companion for these two. Because I took Nova with me. I moved away to Kildare for the whole of 2022 pretty much, and was working on a yard, and I took Nova with me, and it was great. I learned lots of new things, and Nova really progressed there, and we went out to a few schooling sessions with the riding club, and it was just, yeah, it was a really great learning experience, and Nova really enjoyed it, and it was really great to have her back home. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will try and, I always say this, I will try and upload more videos, especially now that I have more time. It was quite difficult when I was living in Kildare because I was working full time and it was just impossible to try and get a video organised, and I was just always too tired. But now that I'm living back at home, I should have a bit more free time on my hands, and yeah, hopefully a bit more content. I just need to get a trailer and maybe take Nova to a few shows and stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video anyway, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.
If I'm honest, I'll just make you cry.